Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life can be a little bit miserable, life can be a little bit dark, so we are here to bring you as much light and as much joy as we possibly can. I'm Bradley and I'm joined by the Intellectchewable. Is that a word? I don't know. Stu, how you doing, Stu?
I think it probably applies to me, yeah, because I'm not quite intellectual, so I'm just off the pace.
Intellectchewable.
So I am intellectual, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, or bow before me.
Inevitable.
Inevitable.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that. These things all apply to me,
They're
definitely.
all words.
They
Anything's
are.
a word. Anything could be a word, Stu.
They can, yeah.
Including word stew.
Yeah.
That'd be a great. That sounds like that'd be a really good name for like a daily cryptic puzzle game on like the newspaper sites.
Anything
The
to be
daily
a word.
stew.
Oh, the daily word stew. Gotcha, yeah. Oh, I want some money from that if they use that.
Oh, I think it'll be the next Wordle.
Let's get going.
Still dream. That's still the dream, isn't it? Was where you come up with this very basic idea that takes off and you sell it to some company for like millions and you just set.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Sit back, relax.
Yeah. Why aren't we doing that, me and you? We should do that.
No, I wish it was easy to make the next viral thing.
I mean, I am viral, but, you know, the doctor told me to stay indoors and not give it to anybody else.
Yeah. But we're meant to be quick today, Stu. We're meant to be quick.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And we're already going off on tangents. So, do you know what else is quick?
What's quick?
Getting into some video games.
Yeah, it is.
Put your quarters in the machine or your 50p's, depending where you're from, or your 20p's. Nowadays, you put your credit card on the machine. Talking of which, before we go on to all that, do you know those little claw grabber machines that you used to put like 50p, 20p, whatever?
Yes.
But now they've got them with card readers.
God.
No.
Are they like £2 a go or something?
Well, we after Edith had went to watch Ipswich on Saturday. The women were at Portman Road. We went for something to eat and was in a pub, and like she went, "Oh, can I have this? It's like $1.50 guaranteed win." I was like, "No, I haven't got any money." "Oh, it's all right. It's got a card reader on it."
Boo.
Yeah, it's all right, whatever. Despite having already spent like 40 quid on a jersey for her because it was on sale and she could get a name on it and stuff like that. And it's like, you never guess what name we got on the back of her Ipswich jersey.
What?
Negri won, the goalie.
Ah, that's good.
We didn't go down like we couldn't find Farage 10 on there at all. Wasn't on their squad list. I felt for the staff. A couple of people were mentioning about it, and they was just like, "It's nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
Leave me alone."
Leave me out of it. Yeah, too right.
This is our first game we've had since the whole affair. Nothing to do with us. Leave us alone.
I feel really bad for them.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Anyway, video games.
Video games.
I think I'm still playing more than you. So I'll let you ask the first question.
Okay, so what have you been playing?
So first of all, I've been playing a basketball game.
Ooh.
Not a new like NBA or anything like this. This is called Basketball Classics. And it came out, I want to say it must have came out initially in like 2019. But for some reason it's come out a game, but it's still got the original release date. It's just arrived. I went, oh, I'll give it a go. It's kind of been republished by Acclaim. Because they're on this kind of weird publishing route that they're doing at the moment. And anyway, Basketball Classics is styled in like the 80s style of basketball games. So you kind of got these very basic figures, top-down look and everything. You're playing, and it's really simple. You've got a pass button, a shoot button, essentially, and that's what you've got. And when you first play it, you're like, oh, it's just like a classic basketball game. Except what you've actually got here is something that has this classic look, but is very, very clever in how it plays. So, yes, it's your basic pass and shoot and stuff, but you've got like these tactics that are laid out on the court. So you can either just run up as you want, or you can pick a certain lane. And if you're in that lane, it'll go, right, this is the tactic you want to run. We'll just go, bloop, bloop, take you to that point where you do your tactic, and it's really cool. And it's got little things like you can shoot from 3-point, you can shoot from like your 2-point range and stuff like that, and you can dunk. And when you come in, it's all really basic, and when you dunk, it kind of goes to this like new camera angle, and you're going in as these really high detailed pixel art style characters do this jump, and you've got like the defensive character who's moving his arm up and down, and then you've got the ball, you've got to move your arm up and down. It's kind of like this battle of wits, and if you're both at the same level, it gets blocked. But if you can adjust your arm so it's not at the same level, like rock paper scissors, you get the dunk, you get the 2 points. It's just like, it's really cool. And if you manage to go and do a dunk and there's no challenge, you get this really cool animation that goes with it. That's like, it's just really great to see. And it feels surprisingly in depth as you play it. So it's not just a case of run and try and dunk. You've got to have a little bit of tactical nous about you as well, which is really cool. And obviously, one of the most famous people in basketball is Shaquille O'Neal and his character and everything. And he became over in the States a bit of a thing about how he was during like halftime shows and how he'd talk and do all the tactical breakdown. And even if you don't watch basketball, you'll probably have seen at some point a clip of like 4 people sat at a desk, big guy and some other, like usually this little white guy and a couple of other guys and everything as well, chatting. It kind of has this silhouette of those, and it like does this halftime bit. And it's like really able to sort of like nudge, wink of everyone who's into basketball. As I said, it's surprisingly in depth. It's all fake names, but you can edit it in that old style that you used to be able to, where you just go, I'll just put in the real names and everything. And it's just a really good fun game. Surprisingly, I was really shocked at how much fun I'm having with it.
Looks really, really fun. I like the way they've gone for that. It looks like the Atari 2600 graphics, but spruced up.
Yeah.
That's a really cool look. And, it works perfectly in this. And, that sounds really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've not played loads of it yet. I mean, you've got like normal basketball, you've got street basketball and different skins for the arenas and everything. There's a story mode and basic pickup games. And there's just like loads in it as well. So, excuse me. Yeah, really, really good.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, I've put that on the wish list. That's a definite possibility.
So, moving on, what have you been playing this week? You was quiet last week.
I was still like head down in all sorts of stuff I'd already been playing, but I've approached 2 new titles today. Well,
it's not the re-releases of the original Resident Evil on Steam.
It is not, surprisingly, actually. Yeah, no, that's a bit of a shock, but no, it's not those. The first one I've been playing is a throwback, though. It's Sonic Wings Reunion, which is a kind of remake of Sonic Wings, which was also called, confusingly, Aero Fighters. I always knew it as Aero Fighters anyway, back in the day, which is an early 90s vertical shooter. And it's in the sort of very classic vertical shooter style. So it's not a bullet hell. It's more like Raiden or something like that, or 1943 or something. And it's like a military shooter. There's, overblown weapons, but not kind of, loads of lasers and, sky beams and shit like that. It's just, pretty much regular artillery. So it's a very meat and potatoes kind of shoot 'em up. And, I remember playing it back in the day and being like, so it's good. It's all right. Yeah.
All right. It's another one of them.
It's one of them. Yeah. There's 5,000 of them to choose from. It's one of those. But okay, so passable. Enjoyable enough. You'll throw 10p in it if you see it in the machine and you've played everything else you love. Anyway, fast forward to the year of our Lord 2026, and they've decided to do a remake of this in 3D. And yeah, I've got things to say about this.
It's the first thing, the price.
Do you know what? It might well be, because I got this code for free, but even for free, it's a bit like, are they taking the mickey a little bit here? Because not only are the graphics, let's be generous and say subpar, right? They're on about a level of I'd say they look exactly like stuff from the year 2000, but not quite as good. And so that's 26 years ago, and it's it's using the same sort of very kind of sparsely shaded polys as you'd expect from, Under Defeat or Zero Gunner or something like that. It's just at the turn of the century, bordered down. But not as attractive as those. They're okay, they're not ugly, they're just incredibly bland. And it looks like, basically a mobile game, but a low-end mobile game. And it's like, you could... It's not egregious, it's not ugly, it's just incredibly bland. And you like compare it to the original, which wasn't one of the better looking games of its era even. It was, all right. It's not as good looking as the 2D game. Okay, fair enough. Right, we chalk that up, we'll move on. Let's not worry about it. What's the gameplay like? Well, the gameplay is the best part of it, without a shadow of a doubt. It plays decently well. It's got some nice bosses that come up, well designed, and some good backgrounds and ideas in the backgrounds. Like there's one that introduces itself. I think it's the first boss from like a football stadium, and it kind of like it starts with this huge blast, and then it emerges from this football stadium. Very clever. There's one that comes out from a waterfall that looks like midway between like a submarine and a spaceship. That's like two submarines bolted together. It's really, quite a good idea. It's blandly presented, but it's a good idea. So that's fine, and all the shooting is, fine. It's okay. You've got two different types of bomb, which is good. One is kind of like a focused one in the immediate vicinity, and one is like a screen clearing one. The screen clearer is weaker than the one that's focused. It's quite good. You got a lot of characters to choose from. You initially start with about 6, I think, and then it goes up from there as you unlock them. It's fine. It's challenging enough, and there's several difficulty levels you can choose from, 4 difficulty levels. That's really all the good I can say about it. The low effort in the graphics is unfortunate, but what is actually bad is that there's slowdown. It's like not like intentional slowdown, which you used to get in old games to help with really difficult sections.
Yeah.
Just slowdown, just lag, just unresponsive, flickery lag slowdown.
Unacceptable.
It is utterly unacceptable for such. It's such a basic game. It's unbelievable, so badly, poorly coded. That's really poor. I mean, the average player will probably be disappointed but not devastated, but the people who wanted this because they're shoot 'em up fans are going to be like, nope, I'm out. At least from the Switch version anyway. This is what I'm playing on Switch. On top of that, there are no different modes. So I would have thought at your absolute basic, you would have had like the things that I've talked about in some of the compilation packs that we've been playing recently. So,
because this isn't even a collection, is it?
It's not a collection. It's a solitary game. And it doesn't have, it doesn't have rewind. It doesn't have save states. It doesn't have, practice levels. It doesn't have any of those extras that you sort of expect from such a basic package. Nothing like that. No artwork. Just absolutely incredibly bare bones. I don't think. Oh, there is a Tarte mode, so you can play it side on if you want to, but that's it. And there's no option to play the original game and with the original graphics, which would have rescued it a little. Well, not just a little bit, probably completely, because the original is the original, and if they just brought the original back and had an ugly remake that you didn't have to play, then it would probably sell better. It's one of those. If you're paying mobile phone game prices 79p, you'd probably get it and play it for 15 minutes to half an hour.
It's 79p.
Yeah, exactly. For this, when you're paying God knows how much money, 50 quid on Steam, £50. That is shocking. And we don't dunk on games very often. We don't like to dunk on games, but I am properly dunking on this because that is appalling. They should not be charging anything like that for this game. That's an insult.
No, it's interesting because it's obviously Hamster initially, but both the developer and publisher of this is Success Corp. So I don't know how much Hamster have had to do with this, or whether it's just because they were part of the very original or anything like that. But it's it looks bland. I think I threw it to you because like, oh, shoot 'em up, Stu likes those, and then I kind of like looked into it after I came to you, and just went, I don't think Stu's gonna like this.
Well, that's it. You see, it's like like I say, if it was almost free, it would probably not be worth the money very much. Thinking of it like a package, because obviously there's so much competition out there, and you can play the original game on emulation, through MAME or something else. Which I would if you got any interest in this, I would highly recommend you do. And
you'll get better borders and things around it as well, because people care.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many packages out there that you can, if you want to pay money, there are packages you can pay for that have multiple of these games in one package, loads of different options, different graphics settings, all that sort of thing.
Like was it the Psycho collection or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Psycho.
That has like 5 or 6 different games in it, and one are not always for me. But that's how you do a collection of those style games. Just chuck in a bunch of them. At least you get some value from it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would class this as an insult to the fans, basically. Sorry to say.
No, so one quick last word. So obviously the Mortal Kombat collection, when that came out, got a lot of blowback because it didn't play well online. And I think I argued then. I was like, yeah, but the original games weren't online fighters, so netcode's not going to be great. So I forgive them for that a little bit. And a lot of people, I remember some of the people going, no, it's unacceptable. It's like, all right, if you say so, you know more about fighters than I do. So if it's unacceptable, it's unacceptable. But that still feels like it's maybe people wanting more than what could be delivered. Whereas Sonic wins, the fact it's one game badly remade or remastered or whatever, it is shocking. And to ask almost full price for it is even worse.
Absolutely. No, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We don't like to dunk, but if it's deserved, we will.
We've got to be truthful, got to be honest.
Yep. Anyway, moving on. Something a bit better. Okay, a bit of a palate cleanser.
Hooray.
Shall we say. Generation Exile, which is where Sonic wins probably should have gone out to Exile. Anyway, this came out initially in early access back in November. And it's due at some point. It's 1.0 release. I can't remember. 17th of April. It gets its 1.0 release. So I've been playing a little bit of this last week, and it's a turn-based city builder colony sim on I want to say hexagonal grid. I think it's the 6-sided one. It might be the 5-sided one. I can't remember. But anyway, it's on one of those types of grids, and you go there, you've got to build your world up and make it all automated and sort of like all working in harmony and things like that. And the story behind it's really good. So Earth's on its last legs, basically, do you know Wall-E?
I do.
And they all have to live in a big ship for a long time because Earth's screwed. They haven't found somewhere to live or whatever.
Yeah.
So imagine that, right? But instead of it being, there's it's about the human condition. It's no, there's like this kind of weird thing that's taken over, and it's like this diseased alien type feeling. It's stopping your mission early, but you've still got to somehow colonize. Well, this big ship has managed to replicate Earth's atmosphere, so you can get there's water, there's flora and fauna rather, and stuff like that and everything, and you can build a colony within this ship's space. It's really good. You get this grid that you can go around, and it's massive in terms of the size of the world, but it has walls, so you're still limited on where you can go because it's inside a ship. You've got these walls you've got to do, and you've got to get these different climates like built and stuff like that. And it's really, really good. So you start off with like you come up from like subsurface. You come up to the surface, and you kind of put down a couple of basics like habitat and like things you can use to start gathering resources, create food, etc. And you build out from there. And it starts off really simple, and then it gets more and more complex and complicated as you go. But you start to see this world that you're in change. And they've just recently added a rainforest and radiation update, which adds just like loads of extra stuff. So more hazards that are in place. But the like the rainforests you could create are just, oh my God, they're lush. It's like, you feel like almost like God in what you can create there. And it's really, really cool. But it's got this turn-based nature in the way that Civilization does. So it's not set on a timer. You place a building down, and that will take a turn to build. And depending on how many like crew members you've got and how many people who are talented in certain things, is how much you can place down in a turn, what you can do in each turn, and then it moves on, and then you start redoing stuff. And it's really good. It's got a decent UI to it, which explains when you put this down, this is what it connects to. And everything's like really done well to help you just want to progress the game. As I said, I'm really, really enjoying this. I always play these where I'm not, despite playing a lot of them, I'm not an expert in these things. I generally just get to a point where I then struggle and get overwhelmed by it. And I have with this, because it's like, it gets so in-depth. But I am really enjoying sort of like this, trying to figure it out. And I've gone through, lost a run, gone through, lost another run in a different way. And I'm just really enjoying just trying to discover everything this game has. And I don't feel like I've yet scratched the surface with it, because there is like a story mode to it. And I'm still going through, like the crew members all have distinct personalities and everything, so the society you build feels important to everything. And it's just really, it's done really well. Like, almost like humanity's hope has lost, but you can rediscover like humanity's new hope and stuff like that. And it's I think it's very poignant for its time as well, but it does a really good job of just being a good game to play as well.
Oh, marvellous. I mean, it's got a really excellent look to it. I like the way that it's gone for a kind of oversaturated colour on, each looks like each biome. Like it's which very distinctive, and it looks quite intricate. Yeah, very good.
Indeed. And to give you an idea, like if look, just to whet that appetite a little bit. So the team is led by Nels Anderson, who is one of the co-creators of Firewatch. And also the designer of Mark of the Ninja. Two fantastic games.
Indeed.
And Carla Zimonja, who is the co-creator of Gone Home and Tacoma. So those two have come together to form Sunderlust Studios. And this is I'm assuming their first title that they've put out together. And yeah, it's you can feel their DNA in it. And that's really good. And there's also like the music behind it is really good, and I had to look this up because I was like really enjoying the music, and everything, and the audio, and like it just really draws you in. So you've got like the people who are behind the sound design of this are behind the likes of Celeste, Tunic, Darkest Dungeon, Into the Breach, FTL, and Subnautica. So again, all games that are really good with their atmospheres and stuff like that. You can really feel it here as well. They're into their third stage of their development roadmap, which is coming to an end, and it's coming to 1.0. And there's more to be revealed for post-launch as well. So it sounds like they're going to be really supporting this into the future as well. I'm along for the ride with this one. It's really good.
Brilliant. Yeah, good stuff. Keep your eye on that one.
Definitely. Probably not for you, although you don't like those sort of games. But
yeah,
on the
not
whole,
really. But I like to champion them from the sidelines when they're good.
Yes, like Sonic Queens. No, not like Sonic
Definitely
Queens.
not.
Please tell me your next game's a bit better though.
Oof, is it? Blimey. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's sarcasm or... so put me out of my misery.
Well, it couldn't be much worse, but it's a lot better. And I've been to the point of, like, I've developed a mini obsession for it. And it's... Yeah, I have. It's Tokyo Extreme Racer, which came out in September last year. And I'm playing it on Steam. And I think you've played it, haven't you? I think you've had it.
I have, indeed.
And oh yes, yeah, this is for me. So love arcade races. I think we've only covered like a pitiful handful of them in our entire time on the podcast because so few.
Despite loving them, yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, exactly, because so few of them get released. And this one, I was kind of like, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it looks okay. Didn't really think much more of it. Then picked it up, and it just blew me away. And it's the sort of game that won't blow everyone away. But it did me, and for a few reasons. I'll explain how the game plays first. So the idea is, it's a battle game, so a battle racer. So the idea is that you pick fights with other cars, and you have to race against them. And it's totally acceptable. In fact, it's kind of encouraged for you to smack them around, just as they're smacking you around to try and get a lead and an advantage. And you have these energy bars that you have both of your cars, and you detract from the energy bars by either causing damage to them, blocking them off on the road, or overtaking, and eventually by gaining a big enough distance from them that their health bar completely decreases. Really cool premise, and it's been going for years. But I've not really played very, very many of them.
Very, very prevalent on Dreamcast.
Indeed, yes, absolutely. And that's kind of one of the main reasons I like it. It reminds me a lot of Metropolis Street Racer, and to a sort of lesser extent, Project Gotham Racing. Not that it's exactly like those games, because it's not. The handling is very different, and the structure of the game is very different. But the in-the-moment sort of overtakes and taking cool corners and stuff and getting rewarded for them is very much like that. And it expands on that by, you get extras for doing good cornering and drifting and overtakes and close calls and things like that. But you also get, you bank that as money, and you can spend that on other cars, which is, as you'd expect. But also defeating racers and named racers, like racers who are part of a club or these nomads that you find on the road, they give you these battle points as well, which can be spent on perks, and it's a complete RPG system. And what's really great about that is that when you buy them or you buy upgrades, you can go into them and tweak them in a Gran Turismo style if you want to, but it's much more arcadey, so just buying them will improve your speed or cornering or, whatever. But if you tweak them, you can get it to exactly the way you want. So it's got a depth and nuance if you want it, but it's got the arcadey thing of, put foot on pedal, cargo broom level of, excellence. And the entire thing is set on the Tokyo sort of, ring road or whatever you call it, the highway.
How did they think of the name?
We can like nobody can take the romance out of stuff like the British can when it comes to naming stuff. Unbelievable. Like highway just sounds really sexy, and ring road just sounds like it's some sort of medical condition. But so you're racing around these inner city highways, and it's all at night because it's kind of this bad boy thing of you're trying to evade the police and get on with your club's activities and defeat other clubs, and you're a bad boy, blah blah blah. I'm sure none of this really happens in Japan, which is one of the most buttoned down type.
I've seen Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I know exactly what happens in Japan.
You've seen the documentary. You know what's really going on. But as a piece of fantasy, it's really good. And as somebody who used to play MSR, I would deliberately stick it on at like midnight occasionally when I was a youngster, just so that I could like play Tokyo in the daylight, because it used to take you. I know you could change your clock to fool the computer, but I really wanted to just stick it on at different times of the day in different regions and see what the sky was like and what time of day it was. And it just brings back that for me. And yeah, it's great. The handling is odd, but for me, in a good way. Like it's got like a front end shimmy that's part of the game, which takes a bit of getting used to. But once you do, the handling is excellent. And you've also, I would highly recommend, like, my one sort of main detractor from it is that the onboarding is very poor. It doesn't have enough instructions on what to do or how to get the best out of things. It doesn't tell you, for example, that if you win consecutive races, your prize money goes up, which is a big deal. It also doesn't tell you that if you stay on longer into the night, so in one session without going into your garage, you gain more money. It doesn't tell you any of these things. So I would highly recommend going onto YouTube and watching a breakdown of like beginner's tips.
It was the same with the Dreamcast games as well. Actually, I remember the first time I played it, I hated the game. Absolutely was like, no, this is rubbish. And then went back to it like a year or so later, and it was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So yeah, I think that's always been a problem for the series.
Yeah, no, it seems like it. So yeah, watch some beginners tips. Don't bother with breaks practically, not until you're later into the game because they're pointless and rubbish.
That's what the edges are for.
That's exactly right, and you don't take damage, so that's fine. Just use the edges, but no, use your handbrake. Get used to a bit of drifting, which improves the further you go. And if you like that kind of game, you're going to love it. It's not for everybody, but yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed. I've been playing it for like 2 or 3 hours a day every day. Yeah, it's great.
And obviously, when you're playing it, you do it with your Texas twang, as in like your Lucas Black in the Fast and Furious.
Of course I am. Yeah. Doing my port.
I'm a fish out of water.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Neither do I. Or trying to be...
That was my Texan, all right?
Perfect. I thought you were a native. Yeah. Well, yeah, so there you go. Yeah, excellent.
No, it's really good. I might jump back into that at some point. Anyway, moving back on to final game of the week. And I have been playing... Well, let's just say, if Slay the Spire and Slay the Spire 2 is putting on your best suit, your sharpest suit, going to the casino, sitting at the high stakes tables and playing a classy game of poker. Let's put it this way, this game is in the trailer park, in the back alley, playing crabs in exchange for some crack. Because I've been playing RACCOIN.
Right.
Which is basically it's the same thing you get with Balatro, I suppose, more than anything, and Slay the Spire. So it's a roguelike deck builder, but instead of using cards, you're using coins, and it's a coin dropper. And I played the playtest of this last year at some point, and I really enjoyed it. And the main games, it's really taking it to a whole new level. It's You go basically 15 different stages, and then increasing difficulty in each stage. And then obviously once you beat it at the base difficulty, you then have difficulties and other modifiers and stuff like that to change the game up. So basically, you start off and you've got the X amount of coins to drop in. You drop them in, and you put coins in. You get coins out, and you start off with target. You need to get like 35 value of 35, and then you get to unlock a shop, and you get to get prizes and modifiers and things like that increase your scoring rate. And then you go into the next round, you have to get like maybe 80 or something, and you go all the way up to, I think, need to get like 1 million points on the final round. And the more you play it, the more you unlock. So you start off with each coin's like this copper coin, and it's worth like 1. Or you can get silver coins as a bonus sometimes, and they're worth 10. And that you start off, and it's fairly easy. And the more coins you get out, you also earn tickets. You use tickets to buy stuff at the shop, but you can also use tickets to exchange for more coins to drop, and all things like that. Then you get very specific coins that you can get. So to give an example of one, it's called a whirlwind, and sort of like you throw your whirlwind coin in there, and it goes in as a whirlwind and picks up a whole bunch of coins from an area that you throw it. And then when you put in 12 more coins yourself, the whirlwind gets closer to the drop zone and then drops all the coins out of it. And that's a way of like picking up big points. And every time you drop a coin, you get a combo. and that combo goes up, and when you reach a certain point, you can have like a wheel that spins, and once you get a level 1 wheel up to a level 5 wheel, and they give you things like prize balls or extra coin drops, or what you really want is the tower. And you unlock a tower, and you can start off with like maybe a tower of 40 odd coins, and then that gets pushed. And obviously, if that drops down at any point, you get loads of coins and loads of bonuses from it. It's great. But you can get like a tower of like 180, 200, 300 coins and stuff like that, and it's massive and goes off the screen. And kind of like you kind of want to. There becomes a strategy in it whereby you go, right, I've unlocked that and I'm right near the end. Can I avoid knocking that down now? Because that would be great to knock down and basically bypass the next level, because it's just going to give me all my score on my next level. And you get loads of different, like these things called chips as well, which give you other little modifiers. So one of them is any unspent coins you can take into the next level. So you then get this strategy of, I've got so many tickets. What if I exchange as many of my tickets as I can for as many coins? So instead of starting with 20 coins, I can go in with 120 coins into the next level and stuff like that. So there's loads to think about. And it's just, unlike a Slay the Spire where everything's controlled and you're like, right, if I do this and get this, it's going to have this effect and it's going to work like this with this card and everything. This has got a physics base to it. So you drop a coin in, and it'll drop depending on how the coins are sitting, how to do it. So there's a bit of luck that goes in with it, but you can manipulate that luck to work in your favour. And I've had a level where I got to like, I think level 12, and I had a gadget in there, which was a UFO thing, where every time you sold an item, it would either pick up a bunch of coins and score them, or then drop them for every 3 items you sell. So I got to a level where I'd run out of coins, run out of exchanges. I used my bankrupt shake, which is another thing you get there. First time you go bankrupt, you can shake the machine to try and get over the edge. And I had, right, I'll just sell everything. But when you start selling everything you've got, your multipliers and everything, they all drop away. Your score enhancements and score rates, they all drop away. But you try to get through it. And it's just like, I had a level where I was just about, coins were falling in just a way that I was getting new spins and it was dropping more coins, and I was never quite at the end of the run, but I was never going to get there. I was like only halfway there and I was scoring like 1 point at a time. So I was never getting there. But you kind of like, maybe if I get lucky, and you're just like, but it's also just that pure feeling of drop the coin in and just watch the machine go mental. It's just absolutely brilliant. It is the trailer park trash of roguelikes, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I've had to force myself not to buy this because I thought that's just a new addiction waiting to happen, and I'm kind of on, always on the verge, like the tipping point with the coins of just paying for it.
And if you do get it, Stu, I'll just sit here and ask you mundane questions before you're allowed to drop as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
British people will get that, Americans won't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. It is really, really, really good. I say it's not as good as Slay the Spire, but I mean, again, you are talking about going for the finest steak you've ever eaten, and being weighted on hand and foot with the Slay the Spire. This is just going for a greasy burger, and they've gone we ain't got any napkins. Behave. But you're still going to enjoy it, because that's what this is. It is the greasy burger of roguelikes.
Yeah. Oh, you're pushing me towards the edge, you really are.
Hey.
Gotta get it.
But it's definitely better than Sonic wins anyway.
Yeah, what isn't? Let's put it that way.
Ooh, that's a question.
Nothing I've played this year.
Sonic 4 Episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Got Sonic in it as well.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, there's very few games of that higher price, I think, that I've played in the last 5 years that are as disappointing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is a tenner.
I know, right? You'd go crazy for it.
Yeah, it's not as... I mean, what was Balatro in the end? What did that come out as? I want to feel like that was Vampire Survivors type territory, but I don't think it was.
I think it was. I think it was really cheap. I'm not sure it was as cheap as Vampire Survivors, which is the cheapest game of all time, but it was bloody cheap.
Hello, Balattro's same sort of price. It's about a £10 mark.
Oh, fair enough.
Might not have been in early access, I suppose. Might have been cheaper then. You could get it as a bundle for 20 quid, which is really weird because who's not got at least one of them?
So yeah, gotta have one of those, haven't you?
You got to buy your Raccoon and Balatro, however you want to say it, bundle. You guaranteed to already get money off RACCOIN because you already own Balatro.
I know, right? How good is that?
I know. But yeah, no, it's brilliant. I'm loving that what is still the same genre of games, and we're still getting fresh ideas out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say you can pick the bones out of it for the physics side of it. That means that you haven't got for it's so what? Doesn't matter. It's fun.
As long as it's fun, that's the golden rule.
Yes, and I managed to stick a good number of hours in this that I've taken away from Slay the Spire. I was hoping to be over 100 hours of Slay the Spire already, but I'm not quite there because of this.
That's a minor miracle in itself.
Yeah. So stop me playing Slay the Spire for a bit out of 10.
Yeah, good score.
Yeah, that is a good score. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the week. So ended on an absolute banger.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll back out from there, and so yeah, if you're celebrating Easter this coming weekend, which will have just gone by the time this comes out, I hope you had a nice time. But yeah, if not, I hope you had a nice time anyway. And with that,
did you eat your own Easter bunny because of the cost of living crisis?
Yeah. I've been breeding Easter bunnies so I can chop them all up at.
Deliver your eggs and then you eat the carcass.
Yeah, that's how it works. But yeah. So, as usual, follow us on all the socials, check out our content on the website, join us on Discord if you wish to chat, and until next time, stay safe and stay sane.